I didn't trust it, 'cause they smiled at me first, just like the wolf before he bites.
Hey everyone, it's Ivan with KeepBadger.com, here to bring you a little range report. Out here, my favorite little bolt gun. Previously did a review on the 527 Carbine. This one chambered in 7.62 by 39, made by CZ. And trying to figure out what ammo pairs best with it. I have a couple ammos out here today. Both Tula, 122 grain full metal jacket, 124 grain hollow point. Gonna see how they do in this little gun. Most rifles, if given the opportunity, end up favoring a certain type of ammo, bullet weight, something along those lines. While this isn't probably a sub-MOA gun, I do want to see what it is capable of and what it pairs best with as far as ammo goes. Limitations, obviously going to be me as the shooter, and probably don't have the best optic for trying to group. Right now though, I have my target set out there at 100 yards, and my optic on here, it's a variable 1 to 4. The reason it is because of my intended use for this rifle, but it's what I get. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a go first with the 124 grain hollow point and probably shoot 2 rounds or 2 strings of 5. I have 2 different targets set up down there. Put 5 on one, 5 on the other. We'll go down, check it, and then move on to the next one. So this will be my first string, 100 yards at 4 power with the 124 grain hollow point. As it turns out, the targets I printed off with a 1-inch red circle are actually really hard to see through a 4 power magnified optic at 100 yards. So I shot the first string of 5 rounds. Really hard to get consistent with it. So after that I went ahead and boxed out a big box using the grid around it. So now when I look through my crosshairs, they line up, totally cover my red dot that I have on the target, but what they allow is me to now have these quadrants try and get equal space, equal white space on either side of the crosshair, above, below, everything like that. So shot 5 rounds, my second string of 5 rounds after I fix the target. So then I'm going to shoot this one, and then we'll go check the target. All right, that was my 5th shot, my second string. Go down and check them. Kind of don't want to show you these targets, but I'm going to. As I mentioned, at first I just had this red dot down here at 4 power on that scope, pretty much blocking out the entire red dot. I did as best I could, and I ended up marking these 5 down here. Went back after I saw that, came back here, box this in, same with this guy. So then put my crosshairs in here, pretty much was just working with the quadrants on either side of my crosshairs before I broke the shot. Ended up shooting, I think my furthest was probably this guy to this guy, which came out to about 3.2 inches. Not very good. On my second string, my second real string, where I actually boxed this target in, had this guy out here. Would have been a lot nicer without that guy, but that guy was included. So edge to edge, looking at 2.2 inches. Neither one of those are magnificent, but it's what I got. So I'm gonna go ahead and staple up some new targets. This was the 124 grain hollow point, Tula. Now I'm gonna shoot the 122 grain full metal jacket from Tula. All right, put the 124 grain away. Now I'm gonna go ahead and work with this 122 grain full metal jacket. And I got my targets boxed in with my pin again, so we'll see what I can do with this 122 grain and go from there. All right, that was the first group with the 122 grain. Load it up, do it one more time. All right, last round, second string. Let's go see how I did. Admittedly, disappointed with my performance out here. 1, my choice of targets. 2, how I'm shooting, but it is what it is. My printer's a long ways away and these are the targets I had. With this one, as you can see, there's kind of a little bit of vertical stringing. This one, a little bit of horizontal, round up here. This one, these being my furthest, it's about 4 inches, top to bottom. These down here, I guess that would probably be my furthest there. Looking at about 2.7 inches, biggest spread down there on the bottom. Again, biggest limitation being myself, coupled with my optic. And if you're wondering why these are low, these groups are low, reason being is I have it zeroed at 50, but apples to oranges if I'm showing you me punching holes at 50, because for most people the benchmark they use is 100. That's why I'm shooting this at 100. Also, not that it should make a huge difference, but that barrel went from 18 down to 14 and a half inches when I got it cut, pinned, and welded. Not that it make a huge difference, not that I'm trying to rationalize, but that's what I got today with 122 grain. Wish I had some better groups today, but I didn't. Honestly though, really pleased with this entire package. Love this little rifle. Took like 4 inches off the barrel, 3.5, whatever it was, 18 down to 14.5, 14, whatever. Optic works great for its intended role. This whole package is great as a brush gun. Shooting groups, not so much. But I mean, I have this thing zeroed for 50 because that's what it's for. Pig, deer, 50 yards and in. Shooting at 100, not really this thing's bread and butter. But I got some groups out there and that's what I got. So with that, I'm going to continue working on going through some different ammos and find out what feeds best through this thing. But as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.